Hello, hello.
Oh, hey Basma, how you doing? Hey Susie, how you doing?
Hello.
As we wait for some of the stragglers to come in, I know a lot of people are traveling today for some reason, but what we're going to do is share some of our wins. So Basma, what's the win for the weekend or the win for the week?
Last week, mountain workout done.
Nice. How was it?
I felt it was a revenge. You kicked my ass. I was like, is there any other exercise? It's not there.
It's just all of the exercises, everything that had been invented.
Why? Why?
Well, great job with the mountain workout, Basma. That's awesome. Lavona, it looks like you are mid-workout or finished your workout or something.
Yeah, I just finished. Sorry, I'm not presentable, but I'm here.
No, that's awesome. That's more impressive that you got the workout done and now you're just going jumping into the call. That's brilliant. How was the workout?
Kind of rough,
Okay.
but it's okay.
All right, awesome. What's the win for the week, Lavona?
I guess I've really noticed the last week, especially since we've been doing the Spartan workouts, my mindset has really, I've been changing over the last several weeks, but it's just like really kicked in.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel very good Friday. I was sore, had a lot of cramps in my calves. And I'm like, okay, I can't go to bed and not do anything.
Yeah.
So I did stretches
Brilliant.
that were in
That's awesome.
my plan. So
Nice. That's a good win. That's brilliant. When you say your mindset was changing, what do you mean?
it's usually like, okay, I'm doing this workout, but yeah, let's just hurry up and get it done. And so now I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do one more set or one more rep, or so I feel like that part's gotten a lot stronger.
Awesome. That's brilliant. That's really good to hear. That's nice. All right. Susie, can you chat? Can you talk? If you can, what's your win for the week? You there?
My, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
See me? Okay. My win is fighting the urge to do a
Sorry, Susie. Susie, you're dropping in and out a lot.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're dropping in and out a lot. When you come back into good signal, just let me know, and then we'll do the win a little bit later, right? All right, we'll jump into the call. No, we can't hear you, Susie. You're sounding like R2D2. It's okay. There we go. That's better. Hopefully should dial back with some better signal. All right. So we'll dive into the call. The thing that I wanted to bring up today is because it was just a common conversation with a lot of you over the last week is we're going to talk about self-sabotage, right? And basically like how to get past that. That's going to be the main part of the conversation. And then we're also going to talk about fats and carbohydrates, why these are super, super important when we're talking about losing weight or losing body fat. So let's dive into the self-sabotage thing first. When we go through any kind of change, right, whether we are trying to get better at going to bed on time or we're trying to eat better, what we have to understand is that you've been doing something for a little while in a certain direction. Hey, Wendy, thanks for jumping in. So we're not only having to learn a new thing, right, by learning how to eat better or learning how to go to bed at a different time, but we're also having to break the old habit. So what happens is our body and our mind becomes very attached to the old ways of doing things. So this is exactly the same as if someone is trying to give up smoking, right? Our body has become familiar with the habit of smoking, the same system and the same way that we go through the day. So maybe you get up and you go outside and you have a cigarette, or you have a cigarette at your lunch break, or you have a cigarette at the end of the day after dinner. So this habit that's being established through your day has been going on for 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 years. So now when you're breaking that habit to try and implement a new one, whether it's around food, sleep, not smoking anymore, you're not just fighting the addiction of the item, right? You're not just fighting the addiction to the junk food, or you're not just fighting the addiction of the nicotine, but you're also fighting the addiction that your body has developed to the actual habit. So it's the habit that is often the hardest thing to break. And when we self-sabotage, what happens is we often self-sabotage in low energy points. You know how I talk about high vibrational points and low vibrational points all day, right? So when we work out, like Lavonna's just done a workout, she'll be in a really good mood, right? And her vibration is going to be up for a while because she's just completed a workout. But maybe someone's had a really bad day and it's the end of the day and your energy's done this, right? So you had a bad day at work, you had a fight with a partner, you had a shitty email situation, whatever. So your energy internally is just shrunk. So when your energy is at its lowest, it's the easiest time of the day for yourself to fall back into old habits, because those old habits are the most familiar. So when your old habits are the most familiar, your body's just going to resort back to that. Your subconscious is just going to resort back to that. So self-sabotage isn't as vicious as it sounds. It's not like you're setting out to purposely stay eating unhealthily or to skip workouts or to go back to those cigarettes. You're not doing it on purpose. You're doing it subconsciously. So when you get tired and when you have low energy, well, what happens is you're going to fall back into those old habits, because those old habits are your baseline. I've spoken about before, when we want to improve our life or improve our standards, we want to raise our baseline, our standards, right? And this is often the hardest thing to maintain until it becomes the new normal. So when you're going through those days and you have low energy points or low energy, let's say vibrational situations happening where you get to the end of the day, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're hungry, you're in a bad mood, that's when it's most important to make the conscious decision to do the thing that's more in alignment with the future self. Because every single time you have that opportunity, right? Look at it as an opportunity. You then have the left or right decision, the yes or the no, the black or the white decision. Because those days are going to come all the time. If you keep making the decision that is the bad choice, you're just creating that habit again. But if you understand that, okay, this habit that I see at the end of the day, when I have low energy, I'm in a bad mood, I'm hungry, all this kind of stuff comes up, and I want to eat the block of chocolate, or I want to have the drink, or I want to have a cigarette, or I don't want to go to the gym. If I keep making that choice, I'm going to end up in the same position I am right now in 12 months' time, or in a worse position. So I consciously have to make the choice and the decision to do the thing that is harder in the moment. So that means do the thing that's more in alignment with your goal. So even if you wake up feeling tired and you want to sleep in, you have the choice. Okay, I can sleep in, which is going to create the habit of sleeping in, or I can do the difficult thing and follow through with what I said I was going to do and get up and go to the gym and go do the workout. After a while, going and doing the difficult thing becomes the normal thing, the normality, right? But it's through that teething moment, or the difficult part of the transition, going from the old habit to the new habit, where things become really tricky. Because like I said, your true self, the inner self, the reason why you're on this call with me today, you know you can do better, right? You know that you should be in a better state physically, you should be in a better state mentally, you should be taking better care of yourself. The reason you reply to our messages, the reason that you do the workouts, the reason that you follow the nutrition is because deep down your true self wants that, wants to be the best version of yourself, the 10.0 version of yourself. But your ego and your inner child are the things that are going to keep you locked in those old habits, right? So I had a great conversation with Courtney this afternoon. Courtney, I hope you don't mind if I share this about the falling off on the weekend, but she did really well with her nutrition. up until the weekend, and then she had a family event and ate something she wasn't meant to eat, and she had a really bad time with the digestion and everything else. And she said to me, like, how many times do I have to keep beating myself over the head before I get it? Like, I know that if I eat something bad, it's going to make me feel bad. And what I was trying to explain to her is that this is a constant battle. You don't just get to your goal weight. You don't just get to the finish line, and then all of a sudden, I'm never going to make a bad decision again, right? We all know the first time we had alcohol, we had a really bad hangover, but we kept on going back to alcohol, right? So it's the exact same thing when we talk about food. We have these habits that are ingrained in us, and then we have social settings, like Courtney going to the family event on the weekend, that trigger these habits. So as you go through the week and as you go through the day, understand that it's not just you making the decision, I want to eat healthy. It's also you having to fight your habits and then your triggers through the day. So when we're talking about triggers, we're talking about the emotional triggers and then the life triggers that we face every single day. So I've touched on this before, but when you wake up and you get out of bed on a certain way, or get out of bed in a certain way, if you brush your teeth in a certain way, if you shower in a certain way, these are all triggers to bring you back into your past life. So when I say past life, I don't mean 10 years ago, I mean yesterday, right? When you go to work, when you drive the car, when you listen to music, when you speak to someone at work, these triggers are going to bring you back into your old self. The trick is to be aware of these triggers. When you see these emotions coming up, when you see these feelings coming up, understand that. So normally if I go to work and I see Debbie who offers me coffee at 10 o'clock, often that will trigger me to have a donut, or that would trigger me to eat unhealthy food, right? If I'm driving home and I'm stressed and I'm running out of time, that will trigger me to go through the drive-through and then get McDonald's. So these little things that you see through the day are going to be constantly testing you all the time. So the self-sabotage isn't you turning on yourself. It's you not being aware of these things that are happening through the day that put you in a low vibration and then trigger you to fall back into old habits. Once you start to look at your day and your perspective from the point of, okay, these things set me off and these things often lead me down the wrong path, then once you're aware of it, then it's your responsibility to plan accordingly. We're all adults and you're all awesome people, but you have to set yourself up to win. Because if you're not, you're just going to keep you're going to stay on this rodeo and this roller coaster for the rest of your life. If you really want to change and become the 10.0 version of Basma, Susan, Wendy, etc., then you have to learn that, okay, for me to do that, I need to become a new person. So these habits, these triggers, everything has to start to evolve into the new version of myself. Does that kind of make sense to everyone? That was a lot of information really quickly. Yeah. Basma, what's your takeaway with that?
I feel like you are talking about me every day. I'm going to admit, I'm honest. I feel like I have low energy and bad mood first thing in the morning. Remember when I used to do the burpees and the squat the first thing in the morning? I'm not doing this now. I ask myself and I feel like I'm so tired, exhausted. And I've been having lots of issues, like many things need to get done. Many things like, and I don't know. Yeah, I want to break this habit not to do what I have to do in the morning. I don't know how to do that. I need to go with the difficult way, but I don't know how to break it, to be honest with you.
There's a couple of things, Basma, on that, and this is for everyone, is make decisions now that the version of you in 24 hours time will thank you for. So don't look at it as 12 weeks, 6 months, 2 years time, because that's too much time. If you just look at, okay, would Adam in 24 hours time thank me for making this decision for what I'm about to have for dinner? Or would he thank me because I got up and did the workout? Or would he be disappointed because I didn't follow through on my nutrition or didn't do the workout? So if you just do the same thing, it makes it a lot easier to do versus looking at it as the big picture. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, I love to do the workout. Even I spend more time. I do the affirmation. I do the journal every day. I sleep very well. The only thing that I'm not doing really well is two things: the early morning, the squat and the burpees. And sometimes when I get stressed, I talk to myself. So I stop myself. But the burpees and squat, I felt like before when I used to do it in the morning for 5 minutes, I'm a different person now. But now every time I wake up in the morning, I'm exhausted. I feel like I don't want to do it, and I'm gonna sweat. I have to take a shower, and then I go to work, and I don't know. I just want to break this.
Okay, so there's Basma, there's always going to be a reason not to do it.
Lazy? No.
No, there's always going to be a reason. Like there's always going to be the shower you have to take, or the reason you got to get to work, or you're tired, or whatever. There's always a reason not to do it. It's just become a habit now because you have been waking up and telling yourself you can't do it, or you've been waking yourself up and saying that you have to get to work or whatever. So tomorrow, seeing as you're on the call and we have public accountability, you're going to say, tomorrow I'm going to do the burpees. And all of these ladies are going to call you out tomorrow morning to see if you did the burpees.
Do you like me to record myself? I will do it.
Yes.
I swear I will do it.
Okay, good. There we go. Public accountability. There we go.
Promise.
All right, awesome stuff. Good job, Wynn. Where are we? Susie, what was your takeaway from that?
Well, I have to say that I'm very proud of myself for, I mean, I'm saying it's a win, but here it was about the same thing. To the point, because as you know, like I'm this binge eater, I'm a, boredom eater. And I get flashes at work of people making pizza. And that smell even triggers things in my head, like, oh my God, I could so eat a whole pizza. And I've been fighting it, and I've been working through everything. And I'm realizing, like at work, it's because I'm not busy enough. So then I'm noticing it now.
Yeah.
And at home here, I have to stay busy. Like I cannot sit and watch TV. If I sit and watch TV, that's when I grab the bag of pretzels. And that's when the pretzels disappeared like magic. The bag. So that's, and I realized that there's no Netflix. So I deleted that too, because I wanted that money towards my health rather than sitting there and making it worse.
Yeah.
So it's to the point where I either journal or I sit and I started a craft, or I'm doing painting, or I just start cleaning something that doesn't need to be cleaned because I know it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And this is part of it, right? Like we all have to figure out ways to sort of distract ourselves from those habits. And it's exactly like giving up smoking. Like you need to put a different habit in place of what you were doing before. So keep going on that path and keep pushing with that. As you get, this sounds a bit weird, but as you get further away from the old version of yourself, right? The version of you that would be sitting in front of the Netflix and eating pizza, there's a couple of things that will happen. One is you're going to be more proud of yourself every single day as you string the day together with success, right? So you're not going to want to break it because you're going to start to weigh up the fact that, okay, I could have a piece of pizza, but then it's undoing 10 fucking weeks of work. Like it's not worth the piece of pizza, right? And then the other thing of it is if or when you break, what will happen is you're going to realize how horrible you feel the next day because you've been doing it for such a long time. Your body would have processed all that stuff out of your system. You would have essentially been in a better mental state. So, it's part of the journey. Like every single person here, including myself, have had the good and bad days where we break on the nutrition or break on the workouts. But it's about understanding that, oh shit, that wasn't actually feeling normal. This is how I'm meant to feel. Like I'm meant to feel healthy. I'm meant to go and do the workouts. My brain's meant to work like this without the brain fog. Like that's what's going to happen the further you get away from that. So well done. I'm proud of you for that. That's awesome.
Thank you. I'm proud of myself.
All right. So let's just dive into carbs and fats quickly when it comes to macronutrients, right? So like we know, increasing protein is really, really important. We have to hit our protein goal. We'll get as close to it every single day. But when we're talking about your fats and your carbohydrates, these are the two energy sources for the body, right? So if we have too many of both coming into the system and we have too much carbs and too many fats coming into the system, our body has to store it. So unless we're burning 5,000 calories every single day, or we're like Michael Phelps, where he was eating 10,000 calories and burning 10,000 calories every single day. We have to understand that the only way that we're going to reduce our body fat is by making sure we track our calories and we understand our fats and our carbohydrates, right? So we need both carbohydrates and we need fats. This is part of our system. We have to have them in our daily intake. We need the fats for hormonal functions, for brain function, for energy, right? We need carbohydrates for the same, right? Our body's going to tap into carbohydrates first when we're doing activity, whether we're walking the dog around the park or going for a run or lifting weights or cleaning stuff at the house. Our muscles are still getting used, right? So we have to make sure that our muscles have fuel, which is coming in the source of carbohydrates. When we eat bread, for example, or potatoes or rice, our bodies will change those carbohydrates into sugars. Those sugars essentially get turned into glycogen, which then gets stored in our muscle mass. When we eat carbohydrates, our water weight is going to increase. This is just part of it, all right? We need carbohydrates and we need water in our muscle. This is part of the way that our body works. So if, for example's sake, let's say Susie did break her diet and she ate a whole pizza, right? If she weighed herself the next day, what would happen is her weight would go up, not just because of the food, the weight of the actual food that she's consumed, but also because of the increase of carbohydrates, the increase of salts, and then the increase of water. So when you eat carbohydrates, your body naturally gets thirstier. So you're going to want to drink more water. Your body's also going to hold on to more water because you have excess carbohydrates in the system, right? So this is why people put on water weight really quickly and can also lose weight really quickly when they do such things as the keto diet. So the keto diet's great for sudden weight loss, but often what will happen is you'll hit a plateau. Because what you're doing is you're not eating any carbohydrates. So your body essentially uses all the carbohydrates stored in the muscle mass as energy, and also, gets rid of any water stored in the body. So you're not dropping body fat, you're just dropping weight. So make sure that if you're following the plan and all of a sudden you feel that you need to drop an extra 5 pounds before the weekend, don't cut out your carbohydrates, right? Stick to the plan with your nutrition. You have to make sure that you get to the point of sustainability. So all of you are awesome, and I want to train all of you for the rest of my life because I love you all as clients, but I want to get you to the stages where you're able to like manage your nutrition, your training, and everything by yourselves. And when it comes to your macros and when it comes to your calories, your carbohydrates and your fats are super important to understand. All right. Does that make sense? Good. Perfect. All right. So we're going to leave it there, ladies. If you have any questions, let me know. One last thing before we go, please, after this call, all of you individually message me about your goals for August, if you're on track. Wendy, did you book your, yes, good stuff. Awesome. Like I tell everyone, booking massages and recovery stuff is important. And I've been hounding Wendy for the last like 6 months to book a massage, and she finally did this. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good job.
I told you I would do it.
That's it. I can die a happy man now. That was like my only goal. So just on that, I know I'm giving Wendy a bit of a hard time, but recovery is really, really important, right? Like all of you kick ass in training, like you're really driven, ladies, all of you, you all take care of everyone else more than you should. And you don't take care enough. You don't take care of yourself enough. So when it comes to massaging and self-care and those kind of days are really, really important. So if you haven't booked one for August, please make sure you book a deep tissue massage or recovery massage or something, right? You need to balance the books when it comes to recovery. You can't all be training like athletes and not recover like athletes. All right, make sense? Good stuff. Perfect. So send me August goal list, please. Just tell me where you're at with your goals for August, just individually in the app. All right. We'll see you next Monday. Bye.